Hey, welcome back. This is Individual Perspective Podcast, continuing our breaking news on a couple terrorist attacks happened today in Virginia and West Bloomfield, Michigan. Okay, so West Bloomfield, Michigan is pretty much home. I'm in Detroit surrounding area, so I know that's my neck of the woods. Okay, so we're gonna I did a detailed analysis and walk you guys through what was popping off on the West Bloomfield thing. I would like for you to watch the previous episodes. They're good premonitions and good analyzing from my end. I literally was live. It was when it was happening. I came straight into the house and I just jumped onto the computer and walked you guys through it as it was going on. So that's the most credible information in how you dissect it and evaluate it and give an individual perspective on what was going on in real time at that moment. So I would like for you to guys watch the previous episodes. It's not long. They're quick and there'll be a good structure to get you to the latest information. So I'm going to bring you into the latest information to kind of get you up to date on everything and stuff like that. And that way you could be full context to the West Bloomfield situation, where the only person that died was the actual shooter. And he drove his car into the actual building, and the security took him out and everything like that. So we're gonna kind of start with that, and I'll update you guys on from there. Here we go.
Here's what we know so far. A car came to the facility, breached the facility by driving into it, was engaged by security. We believe there is one individual deceased in the vehicle. It's been complicated because there was some fire, to say the least, with that vehicle. We believe that individual is deceased. No kids, this is the important thing, no kids or no staff was injured whatsoever. Okay? So we have no victims other than one of the lead security people was hit by the car and was taken to the hospital for treatment. That individual should be okay. So far, that's our information to this point. We have agencies from all over. Obviously, AETF is here, FBI. More than likely will be taking the lead on this based on some of the preliminary investigative information we have, but we're not going to go into that at this point. But we want to assure the community it doesn't appear to be anything active. We're still clearing the area. We're going to clear vehicles for any explosive devices, the building, etc. Unification of the families and the kids are in progress. We've accounted for everybody that we believe was in the building at the time. So we're on path to continue to maybe pivot to, is there and the investigative side of what's happened.
Okay, so that's pretty much, the sheriff of that town.
Side of what's happened. To, is there and the investigative side of what's happened. Here's what we know so far. A car
let's just see what's going on
came
here.
to the facility on path to continue to maybe pivot to, is there
Okay, so right there, I don't know.
And the investigative side.
They may have cut it or did something to make that kind of buffer at that point. So, but that's pretty much everything about Michigan. So the guy came into the front entrance, he's pretty much driving his car through the front entrance, and then they shot him, and his car, something exploded in his car, or maybe it was something combustible in this car, and it started the car on fire, but there's no damage done, no casualties to the students and all that stuff like that. Now we're gonna go to Virginia, because I didn't even know that this happened. This was happening before the West Virginia situation happened. I didn't even know nothing about this. So
this is in Virginia, and this is Old Dominion University. Police cars there you can see gathered. A gunman is dead after injuring two people at Old Dominion University, according to officials there at the school. A gunman opened fire in Constant Hall at about 10:50 a.m. East Coast time. and officials are saying 2 people were hurt as a result. We do not know what their conditions medically are right now. This is all the information we're getting in right now. And you're looking again, this is live from Virginia, Old Dominion University, and the cordon of police officers, that perimeter that has been put up. And I want to go now and focus James Gagliano, retired FBI.
Yeah, I don't want to hear commentary from hacks. I don't. No more of that. We're not doing that no more. No more we're reporting and letting anchors throw us off to people that's hacky.
Casualty, a potential mass casualty incident involving a fire, a burning vehicle, destruction to a temple by the vehicle, as well as a rifle that was involved. So we're going to bring our expertise to the table with our arson investigators. We've got certified arson investigators across the country.
Okay, I didn't know that they were talking about the West Bloomfield stuff, so I should have showed this to you guys too.
I've got 5 here in Michigan that are on scene right now. We've also got our certified bomb techs and our certified explosive experts on scene as well, just in case there's anything inside that vehicle.
Yeah, you talked about ensuring that your organization helps keep everyone safe at the same time, but also...
Okay, we heard the update to this situation. We don't need to hear from ATF or whoever the hell he's with. Sorry, I don't mean to be so blasé about it, but you guys got to understand, information is very hacky, and people need to not give you the runaround. They just need to just lay it to you what the facts are and the data is and what is actually factually true, and then that automatically tells you what the truth is, and you can process it how you want to process it through your morality clause or whatever you have. Morals is for individuals. That's for individual. Morality and standards of morality is for an individual person. Your morality may like disenfranchise my rights. You get what I'm saying? It may be disrespectful to my life. You know, so under no circumstances would I kind of be here talking about what your morals should be and what you should be doing and all the other stuff. That's just stupid. It's not smart. So what I'm asking for is for you guys to understand that when you watch Individual Perspective Podcast, if I'm even characteristic on how I articulate something, or if I'm giving a certain kind of bantering or kind of comedic stuff, or maybe philosophical viewings and stuff like that, it's all based in facts. You can vet me and you'll find out that I just gave a characteristic way of communicating it, but I was telling the truth. So I don't feel the media has a good standing in being factual, objective, and giving us the information, letting us process it through our own morality clause. I think the media has decided to be the be all end all to what your morality should be, how you should be, who you should be, how you should think, how you should move. And by them doing that, we have subverted ourselves. So things that we would do for our best interests, for just to make sure we could take care of our family, that we could lead our houses, that we could be very dominant in what's best for us, we subverted that because the majority in the society and the information of interaction has said this is the standard. Don't even go apply for a job without you coming in being okay with this, being okay with this, being okay with this, looking at life like this, looking at life like this, thinking like this, moving like this, speaking like this. And now we're somebody else now. Society, most people are somebody else. They society. They're makeup of society. They're makeup of their culture. They're makeup of their parents. They're makeup of their teachers. They're makeup of their community. They're not individuals. They're not themselves. Make an individual decision for themselves. They are in a psychological psychosis, mimication, and redundancy. That's the problem. So when I do Individual Perspective Podcast, I want to always make sure that I'm giving you guys the information, and then you kind of look at it through your way that you look at it. I may give my opinion on certain things, but I always want to state I'm giving you information, and individually you will know that is true, And if you want to vet it for yourself, you can vet it, and then you can hypothesize that in your own life.
With still little details that we know about the shooting so far, how are we able, with still little details that we know about the shooting so far, how are we able to confirm that this was an act of terrorism?
How it was an act of terrorism? I can tell you that we have confirmed reports that prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he stated Allah Akbar, and he was formerly a subject of a FBI investigation in material supporting terrorism.
Agent, were there explosives in with still little details that we know about?
I got to get the full report on this because she actually talked about the guys, a couple students kind of took him down and they actually killed him. They took him out because after he shot the one person, that must have been so wild to them that they actually grabbed him and they killed him. You get what I'm saying? So there was some heroes, there was some students that they don't play around. You get what I'm saying? So I want to find this report real quick. So let me change my screen so I can just do a browsing of it and find the reporting of it. The FBI. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Crazy stuff. He was a National Guard too, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Let me switch this. Turn down my audio because it's pretty loud. Okay, let me bring this to you guys. I want to turn on this audio too. Sorry about that.
Now at 5, breaking news. A deadly shooting at Old Dominion University.
We started running, and that's when we heard, gunshots.
Tonight, live team coverage uncovering what we know about the incident that left at least 2 people hurt and 2 dead, including the gunman.
M13 News now at 5 begins with breaking news in Norfolk. A person is dead and 2 others are hurt after an on-campus shooting at Old Dominion University. I'm Janet Roach.
And I'm Dana Smith. According to ABC News, the suspect is a former Army National Guard member. Mohammed Jalloh was convicted 10 years ago of attempting to provide material support to ISIS. We have live team coverage of the breaking developments tonight. So let's start with Derek Lytle with an emotional response from authorities. Derek.
Yeah, that emotional response in the press conference in the education building that we were a part of, FBI members, police chiefs from Norfolk and campus, as well as school leadership, all in there while you could hear a pin drop, the heavy emotion weighing down that room. Now, I asked ODU's police chief, how do you look a student or a parent in the eye that's in fear right now and tell them there's a safe way forward? And he says, in this cynical world we live in, we do everything we can to keep your child safe. According to sources familiar with the matter, the shooter Mohammed Jalloh, a former member of the Army National Guard and previously convicted of attempting to provide material to support ISIS, walked into a room at Constant Hall and asked if this was an ROTC class, and then shot several times. ODU President Brian O. Hemphill calling it a traumatic day that will never be forgotten.
To say the least, today was a tragic day for the campus of Old Dominion University.
3 people were hurt in the shooting, 2 critically. 1 has passed away at the hospital. The shooter was found dead on scene by police.
Our campus and our community have been truly shaken, if ever impacted, by this senseless act of violence.
An emotional ODU Chief of Police Garrett Shelton reflecting on the safety of students moving forward, saying he and his department lay their lives on the line for students, and they are devastated by this shooting.
Every one of these kids are my kids. And I treat them the same way and protect them the same way as I would my own children that are away at college.
He says he resonates with parents living in fear of this type of violence every day.
I get it because I have a child who's about 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 30 seconds too far away from me. So I completely get it.
Derek, if you don't mind, I'd like to follow up on your question.
Norfolk Commonwealth's attorney Ramin Fadahi adding to this conversation he believes this shooting came from a dark place, and it is the fault of lawmakers not pushing for more gun control he calls necessary.
If you're looking for somebody to blame, don't look at anybody up here. Look at our lawmakers who don't have the courage to implement sensible gun control measures. Look to a Supreme Court that enables them and do something about it.
Fadahi thinks these type of gun-related tragedies will continue to happen unless change is brought to the table.
Let's mourn the people who have died. Let's decry what has happened, but let's keep...
He's a liberal as hell. Because ain't no way a liberal, ain't no way a sane person gonna keep that haircut. It's just like, dude, I don't know. Don't let it grow out. Keep it short. Jesus, you so dumb. People dead and stuff like that, and you want the citizens to weaken themselves to the government. Like we should be weaker than the police department. We should be weaker than the military. So give up our ability to take them out if we got to. That's what the Second Amendment is for. Second Amendment is not for like us just to protect our house. It's for us to be able to take over the country if we have to. We come together as citizens and we form a militia and we take over the country if we have to. If our government is wild and is crazy and it start doing some radical crazy stuff, that's what the Second Amendment was for. And that was wrote way before World War II. So other people don't understand. We supposed to, American citizens, you're supposed to have people like Tom Cruise that know how to fly jets and stuff like that, and other celebrities and millionaires and billionaires and Elon Musk and all them. They're supposed to come together to make sure that the citizenry has their tanks, has the jets, have all the technology that our government has, just in case we have to put them in their place. That's the whole point of the Second Amendment. It's not for individual safety. It's for individuals to have total dominance over their lives and in their safety, but at the same time for them to bind together to be even more powerful over a government system. Because you got to remember, the reason why the Second Amendment was put in place is because a lot of British people fought and they won certain territory in the United States. And they just superimposed their will on local people. So they was taking over their house, taking showers, taking baths and eating their food and taking over their house and making a house as military bases. And the citizens had to be compliant to it, otherwise they get killed or something by British soldiers or they'll get taken over or imprisoned. So what they had to do is they had to be accommodating. So the Second Amendment was put in place to not need to be accommodating to a foreign enemy, in addition to be able to take over wrongful government if that comes into play. So yes, you're supposed to take care of yourself. You're supposed to secure yourself. You're supposed to be an empowerment of your own protection, but you also supposed to be with your fellow American citizen, and you are the government. You are the power of the government. That's what the Second Amendment guarantees. That the government can't take your freedoms away from you and your constitutional rights away from you if you're able to protect and superimpose your will on your government. That's what the Second Amendment's for. So when he's saying all this crazy, this is how radical he is. He loves this. There's a moment for him to talk about like gun control. He's an idiot.
The focus where it belongs.
This is how men are. The majority of successful men, they're like this guy. Highfalutin, like thinking that his opinion is grand. It makes so much sense and it's so intellectually, and I can articulate myself very well. And you guys are just normal people that can articulate in a very C-level way, 10th grade education. And they use that arrogance, man. This guy pissing me off. And I'm not going to listen to a guy named Fahadi.
It belongs on us and having to change something so that we don't have to suffer.
Shut up.
But not on a daily basis currently. In Norfolk, Derek Lytle, 13 News Now.
Bunch of liberals. I'm tired of listening to her. I wanted to listen to the woman at the press conference. Let her talk. Idiot.
Watch what magnesium does.
Sorry for the stupid commercials.
The loss of life in this abhorrent. The FBI mourns the loss of life in this abhorrent tragedy and violence. I'd like to acknowledge the students who showed extreme bravery and courage by containing the containing the shooter and stopping further loss of life. The FBI is now the lead investigative agency investigating this as an act of terrorism. The shooter has been identified as Mohammed Baylor Jallow. In 2016, Jallow was arrested and pled guilty for attempting to provide material support to ISIL, now known as ISIS. Jallow was sentenced to prison in October of 2017 and was released from prison in 2024. FBI Norfolk's Joint Terrorism Task Force and our evidence response team responded to the scene, and we will continue to have a physical presence here at the scene as we process the evidence. Additionally, we are conducting other investigative steps into Jallow and the specifics of the shooting. We have dedicated analytical and tactical support. We are aiding in this investigation throughout the entire time. We will continue to work alongside of our partners and those in the community to find answers. The FBI continues to ask for the public's help in providing any information that could lead us in resolving this investigation, and we remind the public that any detail, no matter how small, could be useful. A collection of those small details may help paint a complete picture. We ask that the public submit their tips to www.fbi.gov/ODU shooting. Do you have any questions for me or for my partners here? Yes?
Yeah. With so little details that we know about this shooting so far, how are we able to confirm that this was an act of terrorism?
How it was an act of terrorism? I can tell you that we have confirmed reports that prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he shouted, stated Allah Akbar, and he was formerly a subject of a FBI investigation in material supporting terrorism.
Agent, were there explosives in his car?
We have no information about any explosives in his car or anywhere else at this time.
Did he have one weapon?
As far as I know, we only know of one weapon that he had on his person at this time.
What kind of aid was he giving to ISIL 10 years ago?
He wanted to conduct a terrorist attack similar to that in Fort Hood, Texas.
Is there any mention of the war in Iran right now?
None whatsoever.
And I want to pause that because people already know people probably don't know what that means. He wanted to I messed up something. My screen went down. Let me see what's going on here. Boy, I tell you, be acting up, man. My screens be acting up. Sorry about that. The reason why I stopped it is because I wanted to kind of get you guys to understand the Fort Hood was a military because we kind of let everybody just come into the country. We let them become citizens. We let them join the military. I don't care. I really don't. But so I'm going to say this. We kind of let everybody do that. Even like new foreigners, new immigrants and stuff, we let them come into our military. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes that works out for us. With Hispanics, it's been able to work out phenomenally. You get what I'm saying? They are some of the most phenomenal soldiers out there. But sometimes it ain't good. You get what I'm saying? So in Fort Hood, it was a Muslim. He kind of was like a soldier, and then he kind of turned the gun on his soldiers, his fellow soldiers, and because they not expecting him to be kind of wiping them out, but he did. He wiped a lot of people out in Fort Hood, probably about 9 people, I think it was. So he was actually a National Guard, so he was going to turn against his other National Guards members and do a mass killing to his own National Guard, fellow National Guard people and stuff. So he was going to do that, and I guess he was talking to ISIS in Iraq and stuff, in Syria and stuff, and they caught him. You know, they kind of seen the reporting of it and stuff like that, and that's how they caught him in whatever he was doing. So that's the reference there.
As far as I know, we only know of one weapon that he had on his person at this time.
What kind of aid was he giving to ISIL 10 years ago?
He wanted to conduct a terrorist attack similar to that in Fort Hood.
How was he deceased?
Yes. Something happened to the sounds.
None whatsoever.
Give me 1 second, guys. It's coming out of your right ear, and I hear that, and I want to balance that out. So give me 1 second. I think I know how to do that. Well, I tell you, so much technical stuff going on today. You know, because I'm just jumping on, and I'm trying to make sure that I stay up to date with you guys and make sure you get what you need. You know. Let me try this. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and let him play a little bit.
Akbar, and he was formerly a subject of a FBI investigation in material supporting terrorism.
Agent, were there explosives in his car?
We have no information about any explosives in his car or anywhere else at this time.
Did he have one weapon?
As far as I know, we only know of one weapon that he had on his person at this time.
What kind of aid was he giving to ISIL 10 years ago?
He wanted to conduct a terrorist attack similar to that in Fort Hood, Texas.
Is there any mention of the war in Iran right now?
None whatsoever.
How was he deceased?
There were students that were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to
Wow.
the threat.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, there's no other way to put it. You know what I mean? Wow. Let's do that again. Let's listen to that again. Okay, sorry about that. I'm trying to make sure that
Do you have any questions for me or for my partners here? Yes.
With so little details that we know about this shooting so far, how are we able to confirm that this was an act of terrorism?
How it was an act of terrorism? I can tell you that we have confirmed reports that prior to him conducting this act of terrorism, he shouted or stated Allahu Akbar, and he was formerly a subject of a FBI investigation in material supporting terrorism.
Agent, were there explosives in his car?
We have no information about any explosives in his car or anywhere else at this time.
Did he have one weapon?
As far as I know, we only know of one weapon that he had on his person at this time.
What kind of aid was he giving to ISIL 10 years ago?
He wanted to conduct a terrorist attack similar to that in Fort Hood, Texas.
Is there any mention of the war in Iran right now?
None whatsoever.
How was he deceased?
There were students that were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to terminate the threat.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. That's America.
There were students that were in that room.
That's America, dog. Because they ROTC, so they know about protecting and stuff, because that's what they do. And that's a college, so they really know about taking you out if they got to. Those are adults. That's part of military training, or at least college kind of base military training. But look, this is awesome, awesome. God sends his love out to him, his blessings out to those guys that took him out and killed them and stuff. Because to murder a person when you got to, when it's the time to do it, that's great. That's a warrior. That's warriors. And Trump should take some time to praise those guys and award those guys. That is out of the average. It was 350 million people in this country. That would happen in society. That people are willing to act and doing like not police officers, not military people, not National Guard members, not FBI agents, not like detectives. We're talking about average American citizens that are willing to protect and to the ends, to literally to murder, and to really actually have that on them where they do it in the snap of a finger. We need to pinpoint those guys. Those are warriors. We need more of them. Okay. So that's awesome. That is so yeah. I don't even want to go further into what I want to say about that. Okay, so I pretty much brought you guys up to date on who this guy is. Maybe I need to show you who this idiot is. For they haven't released anything for the guy in West Bloomfield, but let me show you who this moron is for the Virginia.
Meet EM Cent.
Sorry about these commercials. They want me to spend money on Prime and all that stuff. Nope.
A 26-year-old Muhammad
monetize me first.
Jallow, a former National Guard soldier accused of working for ISIS, made his first appearance in court. Afterwards, his attorney declined to talk about the case.
I told everyone no comment, and you guys are just, continuing to follow me. You can follow me as long as you want, but there will be a time for this, and it's just not now.
Court documents show Jallow was arrested at his Sterling home Saturday. He's accused of donating money to ISIS and attempting to buy weapons to be used in an attack on American soil, similar to the 2009 Fort Hood mass shooting that killed 13 people and injured dozens of others. We stopped by his home Tuesday to try and speak with his family, but no one came to the door.
If you're looking through here, you can see his house is right there.
Neighbors like Kenneth Brown never suspected anything was going on.
You just never know. When you say you have a quiet community, nothing is really quiet anymore.
We also stopped by Blue Ridge Arsenal, a gun store in Chantilly, where court documents state Jallow test fired and then tried to buy an assault rifle. He was turned away at first for not having the right paperwork, but came back Saturday with the right documents and left with a gun. But court documents say, unbeknownst to him, the firearm was inoperable, and the gun store couldn't elaborate on the case.
Unfortunately, we can't see what's in their mind. But the guys here do talk to people and ask questions about why they want them, to get a good feel for them. And if they get a negative feel, they're going to shut it down real fast. So we do try.
So that's before he went to jail. Okay, let me get another one.
Breaking news now. This is a photo of the shooter in the shooting at Old Dominion University. And again, the shooter has been identified as Mohammed Jallow. I want to share some background information that we learned from our partners at CBS News about him. So give me a moment. I'm pulling up this information now so I can read it to you in real time. We do know that Jallow was born in 1989 and that he was a former Virginia National Guardsman with ties to ISIS. We do know that he pleaded guilty in October of 2016 of attempting to provide material support to ISIS.
And they make it seem like he was born here. Now, he was born in Sierra Leone, so no, okay? You know,
and that he expressed regret for doing that. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison, but was released in 2024. But again, our partners at CBS News saying their law enforcement sources confirming that the man you see here on your screen, Mohammed Jalla, is the gunman in the shooting at Old Dominion University today. We do note that the gunman is dead, although authorities have not said yet how he died. Again,
I just showed you guys that some fellow students took his ass out. So, okay, guys, I just wanted to bring that to you guys, catch you up, get you updated to what's going on in West Bloomfield, Michigan, and what's going on in Old Dominion University. And you guys are pretty much up to date on the 2 terrorist attacks, you know, and that's about 4 of them. You know, if I'm not mistaken, with the 2 dumb boys that had dead bombs that they threw in New York, and there was another one. I can't remember what it was. It was a guy. He kind of shot some guys at the bar. Remember that? About a week ago or something like that. So this is some wild stuff. So Trump need to wrap that Iranian stuff up and take care of the homeland, because we got too many people in here, too many people in this country. And we don't know where their loyalty is. Too many. So, I know I'm at controversy of me saying that. Okay, we'll talk about it on, hey, go in the link in the description at the bottom. Give me your email. I'll put you on the panel and we can talk about this. I'll set up some conversations, some topics. Okay? individualperspectivepodcast@gmail.com. individualperspectivepodcast@gmail.com. Come on up. I'll set up the panel for you. You want to come talk to me? You want to debate with me? I'm cool with that. Okay? Please hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We got to level this up. I got to get a lot of subscribers, y'all. You know, I got 1,000 I need to get. So come on, y'all. You got to monetize me. You got to help me out here. Okay? Individual Perspective Podcast. My name is Daris D. McKinney. And you guys kind of pretty much up to date now. And yeah, I know, like I said, I do want to build my panel, build my people that I can rely on to come on the panel, do some discussions with me. But I have to get your email to send you the link and all the other stuff like that. So individual perspective podcast @gmail.com, individual perspective podcast @gmail.com. My name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast, and I'll see you on the next one.